Hey friends, it's Tony with Linda Crafton Team. I hope you're having a fabulous day. This is part of my Work with a Pro series, and today we're going to discuss an ugly term. A term no buyer wants to hear, sellers rarely want to hear, agents never want to hear. You ready? Appraisal gap. What is an appraisal gap? Well, the definition of an appraisal gap is the difference between the appraised value of a home under contract and the contract price. What's implied in an appraisal gap? Well, most people look at an appraisal gap, lots of buyers look at an appraisal gap and think, I'm overpaying for the house. Well, that's not actually true. So let's talk about a couple things. What is an appraisal? First, an appraisal is done for a lender, paid for by the borrower, the buyer. And the definition of an appraisal for market value is the most probable price which a property should bring in a competitive and open market under all conditions requisite to a fair sale, the buyer and seller each acting prudently, knowledgeably, and assuming the price is not affected by undue stimulus. A simpler way to describe that is market value for a home is what a willing buyer and a willing seller agree to. Okay? So if you have an appraisal gap on a property you're purchasing or a property you're selling, one, you're not alone. Two, you're not overpaying. And three, if you're represented by a experienced agent, hopefully you went into that with some knowledge. Why am I going through this? Well, I'm going through this because the appraisal gap percentage, according to CoreLogic, has increased significantly this year. In January, 13% of the total homes under contract had an appraisal gap. By March, it was 18%. And as of May, it was 20%. That's the most current information we have. So again, let me go back over it for you. Appraisers are unemotional, they're objective, they're using, for the most part, what I call quantitative. They're looking backwards at recent sales, they're looking at homes under contract, and then on occasion, they're making subjective adjustments to those. Anytime subjective adjustments are made to objective decisions, you're bringing in a level of perception, emotion, whatever words we want to use. Well, buyers do the same thing. And when I talk with buyers and when I talk with sellers, I identify a range in home price, A to Z. And the analogy there is designed to give them an objective opinion as well as a subjective opinion. The subjective would take into consideration other things that are important to the buyers and also important to the sellers. So again, I hope this helps just a little bit. If you have an appraisal gap on your house and you're about to close, reach out to your agent, talk it through. If you're feeling frustrated, feeling scared, feeling worried, those are all natural feelings that occur. Let your agent try and talk you through it and help you understand where the home pricing might be. What's really interesting to notice is that once that house sells, it will set price barriers or price boundaries or price support, however you want to look at it, for that immediate neighborhood and comparable homes going forward. So in a rising market, it is quite common, although unpleasant, for buyers to experience an appraisal gap. But trust me, I've owned 13 homes. I've had appraisal gaps in my past. It is what it is. Over time, if the house is what you're looking for, it will become your home, and you can deal with what the market value of the home is when you sell it. Because again, if you bought it below appraised value or above appraised value, none of that has any impact on what the home will be worth in the future. That's always driven by supply and demand. When it's real estate, please think at Linda Crafton Team. We're here, I'm here. We're all professionals, deep experience. I've read tons and tons of appraisals, and I can help you go through it and have the comfort and the courage to move forward with your closing. In North Carolina, it's most important because there are no outs in the contracts in North Carolina for financing, and there's some significant risk to buyers who terminate contracts. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you don't have an appraisal gap, but if you do, just remember, it's not the end of the world. Have a great day, guys.